Live from Papa Farm Pizza in downtown Knox, Mitch Columbi, part of the KVB's WKVI Sports Department. We're so glad you joined us for another season preview show where we will have a chance to talk to all 6 of our area high school football head coaches. I'm with our sports analyst. I'm so glad to see him. It's Chris McGowan. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. It's been a long time since we've seen each other.
It does feel you've lost some weight, buddy.
So have you.
Well,
we've lost a small human between the two of us.
Yeah, what'd you say you did the math?
I lost 27, and we're about 80 pounds.
There we go.
Between the two of us.
We're looking good.
Yeah,
hot to trot here.
well, I don't know about that, but hey, I'm a lot less weight-wise, that's for sure.
Well, we look good. We're ready to go for a new season. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk to all 6, like I said, of our head coaches in the area. Chris, what's a storyline that you're looking forward to most when it comes to the football season?
I'm interested to see what Knox is going to do after losing, Mr. Football and all that, and the guy that set 75,000 records last year in Miles McLaughlin. Kind of curious to see how they're going to bounce back, whether or not they're going to carry that momentum over. I'm looking forward to, the Stark County connection. With what North Judson has coming back, I tell you what, North Judson might be the deepest they've ever been at skilled position. And Winamac with new coaches, South Central new coaches. So
it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see what's going to play out, how it's going to play out. But Kankakee Valley broadcasting and football has always been good. This area has always produced great moments and great teams. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, of course, we are at Papa Farm Pizza. We're always at Papa Farm Pizza. That's where we start our 2026-2027 season. We're with the owner of Papa Farm, our general manager at WKVI, Lenny Dessauer. We always appreciate you letting us come here, Lenny.
Well, it's always a fun time. It's always good to have you guys here. And here's what we're going to do different. Normally, we feed all your coaches when they come in, right? And we take care of you guys. We're bringing out one of our 30-inch Papazillas, and it's going to be a meat lovers. Because we had a coach say, hey, he needs to have more meat on those pizzas.
That was Russ Radtke.
Yeah, so I said, okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to
leave it to Russ.
So we're getting one of those big 30-inch pizzas, and we're going to see if you guys can all finish it.
I don't know if I can finish it. I'm watching my figure now, right, Chris? We're watching our figure.
I'm watching my figure, too.
Trying to get the six-pack
back. I found all the weight you guys lost. But go ahead and do that.
But I tell you what, though, it ought to be interesting. You ought to get the McGowan brothers together once just to try it.
Just think about it. It's like a cheat day.
Yeah, just one cheat day.
Just don't eat all day.
Yeah, today's going to be a cheat day. You guys will be fine. But I'm
Papa
excited
Farm,
that you guys are here.
Well, Papa Farm Pizza always does such a good job. Give an opportunity to talk about Papa Farm Pizza.
Oh, my gosh. Put me on the spot. I'd have let my wife do it.
Well, yes, your better half standing right behind you.
Yeah, bring her on.
No, she won't do it.
Julie's here. Hi, Julie.
Yeah, she'll say hi, and that's as far as she goes.
Wearing that Baileytown Burger shirt. I like that.
Yeah, that's another one of our ventures. We also own Baileytown Burger, and that's where she just came from. She smells like bacon. It's wonderful. But
might want to sleep on the couch tonight, just saying.
Perks to the job.
like smelling. Why are you smelling my hair? You smell like bacon. But anyway, yeah. So Papa Farm Pizza, we've been how many years now? 5?
Wow.
Over 5 years. We're downtown Knox, and we love to do things like this with the community. We do different things like that, and not only do we have pizza, we have the sandwiches, and we have the appetizers.
Chicken parm is amazing,
and he likes the chicken parm. I know that, or
chicken
you like
bacon
a
ranch.
Chicken bacon ranch pizza. And we're going to do a meat lovers tonight, and but we've got a couple people in here with us here to watch and see what's going on, and I'm pretty excited. I like having you guys here every year. We're going to keep doing this as long as we can.
Well, and I always say during the broadcast on Friday night, I think this is the spot people should come after the game. This is where you should pick up your pizza after the game on Friday night. It's the place to be. Sometimes you even bring pizzas up to the press box for everyone.
Well, I know that the first home game at Knox, we're going to be set up with the wood-fired in the field across.
Nice.
So I will send pizzas up to you. I don't know if you're doing that game or not, but we're going to send everything up there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very
So
much,
if you're
Lenny.
not there, you don't get pizza, but everybody else will.
But thank you very much.
We'll have to change the broadcast schedule to be
Yeah,
first Knox
we'll
home
switch it
game.
up a little bit.
Just make sure you bring some down to the guy on the field, too.
Sure. Just hand it over the fence. I'll just throw it over the fence is what I'll do.
Well, we sure do appreciate you being gracious with letting us be here, Lenny. It means a
No
lot.
problem. It's nice having you guys here, as always.
Absolutely. Lenny's going to be also my engineer this evening, so I won't have to push any buttons tonight, Chris.
Man of many hats.
That'll be nice. I won't have to push
the
buttons.
Swiss Army knife of radio.
So, but anyway, we're talking about our schedule right now. You know, we look at where we're going to be this season, and of course, you know, week 1, we're going to see the Knox Redskins take on the North Judson Santerre Blue Jays. That's at Liberty Field, Chris. Week 1 also provides Winamac versus West Central. That really burns me because I want to be at both games, but luckily we're going to send Justin Ruff. He's going to be on location, so at least have WKVI presence there. He'll be giving up-to-date live information from the Winamac West Central matchup. But for us, Knox Judson, last year, Knox took the bragging rights. With things changing for both teams here, what do you think is going to happen this year?
I couldn't tell you. It's you got Russ Radtke. He's been doing it for as long as I've been alive.
Literally.
You never know. Knox has lost a lot, but they also have a lot returning. A lot of younger kids that were able to play last year. So you kind of curious to see how that's going to unfold. North Judson lost a lot of linemen. They got all their skill guys back. So you wonder how their young line is going to gel and mesh going into the season. So, again, that week 1 matchup, toss out the records, as they say. It's a rivalry. It doesn't matter. Anything can happen.
Week 2, we'll see West Central at Culver. That's always a great matchup the last several years. Then week 3, we'll see Knox at Culver Academies. We're going to get over to Oliver Field. I'm going to get in the nice fancy press box. I'm excited. You're going to be down there on the turf field. So
right.
Week 3 will be a fun one.
Probably down by the horses.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the equestrian.
Right.
Week 4, we're going to see Culver Community at Winamac. That's always a good matchup. Week 5, John Glenn at Knox. Week 6, LaVille at Knox. Week 7, Winamac at North Judson Santerre. That's always a rivalry battle.
Yes.
And then South Central at Winamac week 8. And then week 9, we finish things off with what could be the conference championship if things go the way they want. It's North Judson Santerre at Pioneer. We're going to do a game in the pit, baby.
Oh, wow. And Pioneer, I know, is ranked in the top. Judson's ranked in the top 5 in Class 1A, but Pioneer is actually at the top of a couple 1A polls.
Made it to state last year.
Made it to state runner-up. So, it could be a great matchup come week 9.
We look at the West Central Trojans last year, a great season. It didn't end the way head coach Marc and company wanted. They went 10-2, which is a great season overall for the Trojans. You turn around this year with some returning guys, Connor Huber, the QB. I mean, they've got some good athletes. I know they're going to miss some that had graduated last year, but I think Marc and company, they've got this program running in the right direction. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, West Central here the last several years, the system is in place. The kids believe in it, and when the kids start believing in the system, good things happen, and you just start replacing, and that's exactly what West Central has done here the last several years.
Winamac sees a new head coach in Eric Davis. We had a chance to meet with him last week during a practice report. Great guy. He's got some ideas this year after the Warriors and Warrior Nation went 2-8 last year. That's a tough one. A tough few seasons here.
Right.
But to have a new coach, a new voice, a new mind, maybe some new excitement turns things around. We'll have a chance to talk to him shortly. But your thoughts for the Winamac Warriors? This is a storyline I'm interested in.
Well, yeah, the Winamac Warriors the last several years have been – seems like they were always young. The kids just didn't stick with the program for some reason or another, and seemed like they were always at the skilled positions and the most important positions. They were always young. So it's be interesting to see what Coach Davis is able to do in the hallways there to get some of the kids to come back out and play. The Winamac Warriors, it's a tradition-rich program, so I don't look for them to stay down very long.
Out of the 6 schools we cover, I found out it's the second largest team in our area. First is Knox with 55. Coach Radtke was very proud to report that. Winamac in second with 44 kids that came out for football this season. So that's good numbers.
Good numbers, yeah. That's a lot to work with there. Football is one of those sports where you want to have the numbers because you have to have the upperclassmen playing. I mean, you put a freshman out there that's not ready to play in football, you're going to get him hurt or killed.
Yeah.
So having those numbers and having that depth is huge.
The Culver Cavaliers, tough loss last year in the first round of sectionals to LaVille. The Jays fell to LaVille in their sectional run. But, Austin Foust, he comes back year 4. This is exciting for him after going 3-7. He's got some new guys, up-and-comers, some young kids getting an opportunity that are coming into high school. You say goodbye to the McEwen brothers. That's a tough one to say goodbye to. But Coach Foust is here. We'll have a chance to talk to him in a little bit. Your thoughts about the Culver Cavs coming into this season?
My thoughts with the Culver Cavs is I'm curious to know about their numbers because they've always been low on numbers here the last 3 or 4 years. So curious to see if they've cracked that 30 threshold. So that's always the big key there because in 1A football, man, you're one injury away from having to move about 6 different kids.
Be a headache.
So, it's a headache. And so just curious to see where they are number-wise.
The Knox Redskins, we know their story from last year. They fell in the semi-state battle to Fort Wayne Bishop Lures. They went 13-1 last year. They've been sectional champions the last 4 years in a row. They say goodbye to an amazing senior class. Kane Weber's one of them. The one that a lot of people talk about is Miles McLaughlin, who went on to Murray State. We're excited to see what he does at the next level. But this is the storyline you're looking forward to. What do the Redskins do next, in your opinion?
Exactly. Are they going to change the offense a little bit because they ran into that bully known as Fort Wayne Bishop Lures in the semi-state, and just kind of see what they're going to do. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But to be successful at the next level, semi-state and beyond, you have to be able to open up the offense just a little bit more. So we'll see what happens.
It also starts the year for Coach Radtke, his 50th season. So a storyline that I'm sure a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah, 50 years. That's amazing. I think about it. I turned 50 here Thursday. Just absolutely amazing that he's been coaching as long as I've been alive. It's still just mind-boggling to me.
426 wins in his career, 159 losses. That's what it is being reported on John Harrell. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He's a winner.
Yeah, he's had a lot of success wherever he's gone.
The North Judson Santerre Blue Jays last year, the coaching staff has told me, they said they're very disappointed with how things ended last year. They saw themselves doing much better in the postseason than they did. They fell to LaVille in the second round, 24-22. They go 8-3 on the season. Coach Lambert believes this year they could turn some heads at practice. I saw some things I've never seen the Jays do. I don't want to give too much away, but I've seen some things at practice. That one practice I went to last year, I'm excited for this Jays group. I know you are too.
I am too. I think they are going to surprise a lot of people. I think for the last several years, I think a lot of area coaches and a lot of area people have been waiting for North Judson to drop off that cliff, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think they have the potential to be maybe just as good as they were in their state run.
Well, we'll see what happens. I know Coach Lambert in his 8th season, he wants to take the next step. He always is. They raise the bar high there at North Judson Santerre. And then finally, our last area team we cover here on WKVI is South Central, the Satellites. It's been tough for the last several years for the Satellites, but they have a new head coach as well. It's Steve Forker. He was on the coaching staff before under Buzz Schoaf. He comes in this year. And I don't know if you saw that interview we had with him in our coach's practice report. He wants to be a team that when you face the South Central Satellites, they are going to give you a hard-nosed battle. And I'm excited to see what the Satellites do this year.
Yeah, I am too. Seeing what kind of curious. We're going to talk to Coach Forker here in a minute and see what changes he decides to implement here.
Well, let's go ahead and bring in head coach of the South Central Satellites. It's Steve Forker. Sorry to keep you waiting, Coach. We appreciate your time. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having me on.
No, we appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a busy time for you right now, getting ready for the season. We talked last week about the preparations for the summer. Now let's talk about week 1 here. This is going to be a big week for you guys to see where you're at on the road at Wheeler. Give us your thoughts and what you've been preparing for this week.
Had a good scrimmage on Friday against Calumet. And, we're just looking to obviously take some of that stuff we learned from there and improve on it. Obviously, Wheeler is going to be a tough opponent for us. So, again, we're looking at them and, again, competition right out of the gate. We've been talking about competing all summer long and, just feel it's important for us to get out and compete and give our best. And, and be physical, right? We want to be physical up front. We've been preaching that all summer long. We're able to get into a couple of FUD scrimmages this summer and, just ramp up the physicality up front.
All right, Coach. I've been an assistant coach. I've been a head coach. And as an assistant coach, sometimes you have those conversations about, hey, if this was my team, this is what I would do different. So now that you're the head guy, what can we expect to see new from the South Central Satellites this year?
Well, I think you'll see a little bit more consistency, right? We've been practicing, basics, basics, fundamentals. We have to be fundamentally sound across the board. I think some of that stuff, we've been lacking in that in the last couple of years. So again, we've been really working hard through the spring and summer and, being fundamentally sound, being gap sound across the board on defense, understanding assignments, alignments, and executing those things. So again, I think you'll see a lot more execution from our end, both offensively and defensively this year.
Coach, one thing I'm excited for is to see this freshman class. Last year I remember hearing about this 8th grade class was pretty good last year, and now they're freshmen, and we kind of talked at practice. We're going to see a lot of new faces out on the field for South Central. Talk about this freshman class, this new group. I know you must be excited about, but also implementing some of the other varsity players. What's something you're excited about?
Well, again, I think the thing that I'm most excited about is up front, right? Because we can talk about the freshman class and what they bring, but I think up front, we're bringing returners back, right? Starters back. We got 4 of our 5 offensive linemen back. So we, again, bring some experience back. I think that game experience is critical, right? They understand the speed of the game a little bit, regardless of the outcome last year. They have a better understanding of the speed and the physicality of the game. So, again, we can ramp that up this year. And I think that helps complement, maybe some of our young backs, right? So, again, we'll be, sophomore Jackson Arnett will be at running back for us. He saw a lot of time last year at a slot position. Again, he'll be the primary running back this year. And again, the freshman class, is going to be great, but we don't want to rely on those guys, right? We have some good sophomores and juniors and a couple good seniors. So again, we're excited for those guys, and I think they'll be able to add us that little bit of depth that we've needed that we haven't had in the past. So again, I think those freshmen will be good for us to come in and get a few reps, right? Hold their ground for a couple plays and allow us to get a little bit of rest and get our returning guys back in there.
All right, so the last couple seasons, it seems like South Central has been hammered with the injury bug. And I think that has played a lot into the record that has happened, have had there at South Central. So my question to you is, this summer, what have you done differently in the weight room to try to combat the injuries that have plagued South Central here the last several seasons?
And again, I think it's something, we implemented over the winter, right? Is getting these guys up there in the weight room, right? Obviously, 1A school or 2A school, we're going to have multiple kids playing multiple sports, which I love. But if you're not playing another sport, we need to be in the weight room. So it's been a great winter and a great spring, summer for us in the weight room. And that's, we're continuing that, right? We're not just going to stop lifting because it's football season, right? It's important for me that we continue that strength training throughout the season and throughout the year to maintain that strength that we've gained in the off season. So we're still in the weight room 3 days a week and maintaining that strength we've gained, those gains we've accomplished.
Well, Coach, I know you got a big-time school board meeting tonight. I sure do appreciate you hopping on here and waiting for us. It means a lot. I look forward to talking to you every Saturday at about 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Central range on the Saturday Sports Line. It's a lot of fun, and we love talking to our coaches as many times as we can, and look forward to seeing you more this season and talking with you. I'm glad you got a chance to meet with Chris McGowan. We'll meet him in person eventually down the road, but thanks so much for hopping on here, Coach. It means a lot. Good luck this coming Friday at Wheeler. I hope it's a strong start for you and the Satellites to take off.
Again, I appreciate you guys having me on, getting me on the phone call here. And again, go SC.
Go SC. All right, Coach, you enjoy your evening. That is,
thank you.
Yeah, of course, that is head coach of the South Central Satellites, Steve Forker, here on the season preview show at Papa Farm Pizza. We've got a couple of coaches here. We see Marc Hall of the West Central Trojans. We also see Austin Foust, head coach of the Culver Cavaliers. These guys are going to be seeing each other here in week 2, but they're being nice right now, very cordial with each other right now. They asked me if the microphones were muted or not. I said, yeah, the microphones are muted. You can have your conversation. We're going to have a big 30-inch pizza coming here shortly, guys. Meat lovers. Hope you like meat. We get into meat lovers coming shortly. So we'll have definitely a chance to talk to them. We'll also have a chance to talk with head coach Brett Lambert of the North Judson Santerre Blue Jays. He's on the way. And, of course, head coach of the Knox Redskins, Russ Radtke. We'll also get a chance to talk with the new head coach of Winamac, Eric Davis. You ever met him?
I have not met him.
Well, you will tonight via phone call. So we're going to get him on the line here shortly. We'll take a break and come right back, as this is the season preview show on KVB's WKVI from Papa Farm Pizza. Mitch Columbia along with Chris McGowan. KVB's WKVI is back. Back at Papa Farm Pizza in Knox, Indiana, Mitch Columbia along with sports analyst Chris McGowan for the season preview show, where we get a chance to talk to all 6 of our area high school football coaches. We just had an opportunity to catch up with Steve Forker of the South Central Satellites. I'm excited about him. What'd you get from his energy?
Yeah, I think that South Central's in good hands. Buzz Schoaf, a guy that we've interviewed,
had him on the air as well
many a times and got to know real well. But I think that South Central Satellite program is going to get turned over to a good set of hands.
Well, now we have an opportunity to talk to our other area new head coach of the Winamac Warriors. It's Eric Davis. We've got him on the line. Coach, I sure do appreciate you taking the time this evening. It means a lot.
Hey, thanks. Great to talk to you tonight.
No, absolutely. We've had a chance to interview you this past Saturday at the Winamac Meet the Coaches Night. That was a really cool thing. Chris said he got to watch it back on YouTube or Facebook. That was a really cool night to get all the fall coaches together. But the thing that stood out to me from that interview, I watched it back, Coach, was you're coming into this guns blazing, ready to go. You want to prove that, hey, we can make something happen here in year one, doing some changes, making things in the positive direction. And a lot of the Winamac Warrior faithful that I've heard from, they're very excited about this season. What are you most excited about coming into this year? I know it's kind of similar, same questions as we talked this past Saturday, but for our listeners here in the season preview show with other area teams and everything that's going on, what's something that you're excited about for Winamac Warrior Nation?
Well, I just think anytime you come into a new program and you're trying to build it, it's just about making things better, identifying what can be made better, and attacking the things that have the biggest impact and the quickest, and moving and setting the bar, raising expectations, and really pursuing those endeavors.
You have been coaching a lot of different places over the years, Coach. So this is not your first rodeo. You have a lot of experience. I know that you said you've been behind the scenes at Rochester. What do you think you've learned over the years about coaching when it comes to teaching young kids into be young men?
Well, I think at the end of the day, I started coaching in 1997, and I think kids have changed to some degree over the years, but only because the standard has changed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So you got to establish expectations. You got a certain bar, and you got to be able to push people and have people understand what you're trying to do. And so collectively, the biggest thing is that shared vision. Everybody has the assistant coaches, the administration, the parents, the players, all have this shared vision of what they want their program to look like.
So, Coach, let's talk about since I've never met you before. What's your offensive philosophy and your defensive philosophy? What's a Winamac Warrior coach team by Eric Davis going to look like?
Sure. I think at the end of the day, there will always be some type of option in what we do. I've always had an affinity for it because I feel like it gives you a chance to create matchup advantages, numbers advantages, and it gives you an opportunity to put your players in space. And I think anytime you can get your rabbits and let them run, I think you're in great shape.
Yeah, running the option is always something, we would always, when I was the head coach, we look at the defense that we were going to be facing. Okay, who's their best lineman? All right, we're not going to block that guy because we can't. Because we can't. We're just going to read him and make him wrong every time. So defensively, what do you look at running there at Winamac?
Well, right now we're an even front team. We're a 4 down lineman team because we have a 3 technique. The years I haven't had a 3 technique, we've been an odd front team, and we moved basically post snap into an even front, to be truthful with you.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we're an even front team. What that looks like depends on what you do. We're not going to stand there in one defense and play a one size fits all defense.
Right.
So we move people around and we do some things to take away what you do well, or what we hope will take away what you do well, and then make you do some things that maybe are outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. For people that don't understand a 3 technique, that's a defensive tackle. To be an even front team, to play a 4-man front, it starts with the 3 technique, and you have to have a stud. That's for sure.
Yeah, that 3 technique position really dictates everything else, and we think we have that in Cody Wheeler. He proved himself at Carroll. He showed up at Rochester, so we're really excited about him.
Coach, one thing that I'm excited for is the first game of the year against West Central. I know we won't be there, but we will have someone down on the sidelines to kind of give us reports throughout the night. You've had an interesting relationship over the years with head coach Marc. I know you've coached against him before. Maybe haven't seen or know much about West Central, but what have you been preparing for this week when it comes to week 1 against a cross-county rival?
Sure. I have tremendous respect for Marc. We've known each other probably since 2013-ish, maybe. The West Central is going to be well coached. They're going to be a short pistol flex bone team. I feel like they've got a lot of kids coming back. They've got the right kids coming back in the right spots. So we feel like this is going to be a very formidable test for us. But likewise, I think it's one that we feel like that we can come out, and it's all about execution. So if we can execute and take advantage of situations, we should be in a situation where we can have success. And likewise, if we don't and they do, then it'll be trouble for us. So this is going to be a real battle on Friday night.
All right, Coach, one more quick question here. Were you able to get your scrimmage in on last Friday, with the weather and all that, number one? And if you were, what was the biggest surprise coming out of that scrimmage?
Well, we scrimmaged Rochester, and, having for, I think, 2022, 2023, I was the defensive coordinator there. And then I was at Calumet College for a couple of years. But I taught at Rochester that entire time. And so I know those people and I know those kids, and I feel like that's a very good scrimmage for Winamac. You know exactly where your weaknesses are, and you know exactly what you got to get better at, and that's a big deal coming out of the scrimmage. So from that standpoint, the biggest surprise for me, I guess I was pleased that we were able to match their physicality for the most part. I think that was the first thing, because Rochester will always be physical. I mean, that's what they do. And I thought we did a nice job, a reasonable job of being able to match their physicality. And then, so that for me was the part of it that I was the most happy with.
Well, Coach, I sure do appreciate you hopping on here and taking the time. We wish you luck this coming Friday. Like I said, we'll have Justin Ruff on location to give us live reports. He'll be down on the field. We sure do appreciate everything you've given us so far and talking with us this past Saturday. Also letting me come to practice last week. It means a lot. Hey, it's a home game week 1, Coach. You got to love it. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You're more than welcome anytime, man.
All right. Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
That is head coach of the Winamac Warriors, Eric Davis. We'll, of course, have a chance to talk with him every Saturday on the Saturday Sports Line. I'm excited to see what the Warriors do. He seems like he's got the energy, Chris.
Yeah, he does. Taking over, like I said, a tradition-rich program, and so got some numbers there, 40-some kids. That's a good start.
We will take another break, come back. We will catch up with Culver head coach Austin Foust. He's in the house. We'll get some pizza here shortly. We also see Russ Radtke makes his way in. Also, Marc, head coach of the West Central Trojans here. We're still waiting on Brett Lambert, head coach of the Blue Jays. I don't know. You think he's playing a game with us here? You playing mind games with us here, Coach?
Mind games.
Well,
call him back in. We're going to
He said, Coach Radtke says, call him back in. We're going to start practice again here 20 minutes if he doesn't show up. Well, we'll take a break, come back. It's the season preview show at Papa Farm Pizza here on KVB's WKVI. Back at Papa Farm Pizza for our season preview show here on KVB's WKVI. Mitch Columbia along with sports analyst Chris McGowan. I'm going to have to send a text to Coach Lambert here, Chris. I'm getting nervous now.
I'm sure he's probably traveling on Highway 10 right now listening to us right now, but just laughing.
Well, maybe he needs a police escort. Can we ask some of the police listening in to give him an escort here
We
at
don't
Papa
want to
Farm?
get too big-headed.
Well, we have an opportunity to switch up and talk with head coach of the Culver Cavaliers, Austin Foust. We also will talk with head coach of the Knox Redskins, Russ Radtke, head coach of the West Central Trojans, Marc, and then we hope Brett Lambert of the North Judson Santerre Blue Jays. But right now it's all about the Cavs. And, you said goodbye to a couple good seniors. You said goodbye to several, but a couple in the McEwen brothers, coach. And you had to replace them. But from what I hear, you've got some freshmen coming in I'm sure you're excited about.
Yeah, we got a lot of young guys. Obviously, before I came over here, watched our boys soccer team play, and Jonas was there watching his brother. That's coming up. So, Danke leaves for Indiana University tomorrow, so said goodbye to him, and gave him a little advice as he goes off to college and stuff. And we got a lot of young kids. Our sophomore class is our biggest class, and they're a very talented class. Got to experience a JV season last year too as well, which something hadn't been done in decades, probably at Culver. So we're hoping they can take that experience and then understand just how fast you got to play though on a Friday night.
It's always been a numbers game here the last several years for the Cavs. Have the numbers gotten better this year?
You know what? The numbers have not gotten better, but as things are going around the state, you're not going to hear me complain about numbers.
Right. And there are a lot of teams
to what we have and things, and we haven't had to dust off an 8-man rule book or anything like that and figure out how that is. So, or even trying to do what Wabash is of playing half your season as an 11-man and half your season as an 8-man, which I don't know how that works.
How's that going to work?
Exactly, right? That's what they announced they're doing, and so we're not in that boat. Obviously, our numbers aren't where we'd like, but we got a group of guys that I think we're sitting at like 22 right now. But the one nice thing is these 22 kids show up every day. So we're at that point where the guys that we have on our roster, I don't have to question or look in Harmony to see if they're at school today. I know they're going to be here. I know they're going to be at practice, and so far they've done a good job. After practice, getting things done.
Go ahead.
The last couple of years, you've been taking on Attica in week 1. That switched up. You'll be facing your only 2A school on the schedule this coming Friday against Central Noble. It's a home game. Interesting pickup there. I know Attica was a long drive.
Yeah, it was. Over 2 hours. So this one's a little less. I think it's about an hour 15 or so. Thankfully, they get to come to us. But yeah, it was one of those things where you're kind of just scrambling to find somebody. Us and Attica kind of decided these 2-hour road trips are probably good. Not to do that anymore, and we put something out, and Central Noble needed a game, and we got it really quickly. But had we probably waited too, I mean, there's this year has been crazy of people trying to find games, that kind of thing. We were lucky enough though to try to kind of lock the schedule down very quickly, and Central Noble's they got a brand new coach, so it's going to be a interesting test because we don't really know a whole lot about Central Noble as far as never playing them before, and then having a first year coach too.
Well, those 2-hour bus rides aren't bad if you play it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And as a head coach, that gives you a Friday night to be able to go scout somebody you wanted to go scout. I know when I was at North Judson, we played Brebeuf Jesuit in Indianapolis for those 6 years. The 3 years we went down to Brebeuf, we played on a Saturday. When they came to North Judson, they came on a Friday because they could leave whenever they wanted to. Those 3 years we took as a staff, we were able to go out and scout. So that was kind of nice. But what are some new names that we can look forward to hearing at Culver this year?
Yeah, so we got a senior that came out. It's his first year, Cohen Markley. He's done a nice job for us. He's a wrestler. Going to be kind of a DB wide receiver for us. And then our sophomore class, I mean, really, that's kind of the bulk of our team. So, I mean, Zach Zahner is going to be at quarterback. We have Braylon Bush, Josh Tomlin, Matthew Bloomquist, Isaiah Milam, Zane Whitfield, Reese Carter, Colton Falk returning. He was the one of that freshman group that played varsity football for us last year as a two-way starter. So he comes back with that experience in that class. And then, so it's a lot of sophomores. Right. It's, and then we got one freshman out there and Josh Bloomquist. And he's a kid that he's always been around. He's brothers Matthew and, Josh is as an 8th grader was, he's practicing us in the summer and things like that. And we, all the different things. And, we kind of forget to count him as a freshman when we think about our freshman numbers because he's just always hung with that sophomore class and always been around. And he's done a really good job this summer for us. And, we have some guys that we have some really unique depth in different positions.
Right.
We have some other positions where we're gonna have to bring some extra jerseys and things if something happens to kind of switch things around. But like I said, as far as a whole, this has been a fun coachable group. But as far as talent wise, this is probably some of the most talent we've had in a little while.
So, quick question, a sidebar conversation here. Are Kevin Dante and Kyle Klinkst on the coaching staff? Because I played a round of golf with those two guys over the summer, and if they are. Kudos to you to be able to put up with those two. Yeah,
they're still on the staff. It's usually before practice, right? They get after it with each other, and then they're civil with each other middle practice, and then after practice they're right back at it again. Like didn't stop until there, and then they're a fun group to go around, and we have everybody back on our coaching staff. Obviously, Marcellus Anderson left to go to Laville, and because he built a house up there and things like that. So he's wearing a little bit of different colors, and we give him a hard time for it. But we picked up Tom Bendy. So he's John Glenn's defense coordinator. He was my defense coordinator at John Glenn. He's a Culver grad. He's used to coach at Culver from 1997 till whenever Andy Thomas left, and then went to Glenn and came back, and so he's the only Culver coach that has been a part for all 4 sectional titles. So that's something we brought back, and that's been fun to kind of get back reunited with him, and I think he likes being back in the orange and black too as well. He still lives outside of Culver, so he stops on his way home from Glenn, so that's been good.
We're going to see you take on Winamac. I know Max is going to Max 98.3. We'll see you take on North Judson. Week 2, we'll see you take on the West Central Trojans. I know Mark Hall's here. Probably don't want to give too much away, but anything you want to ask Mark Hall while you got him here?
Nah, not too much, right? He's
you want to tell him?
Guy that didn't get to scrimmage, so he's the one that nobody's got film on and things like that.
You got any questions for Coach Foust? No? Come on, Coach. Get it going. It's taken 4 years. We can't get any of you guys to talk to each other.
Well, that's the way it goes. Everybody's going to keep everything tight to the vest.
Yeah.
No, we've played Culver since I've been at West Central. That's going to be a 16th year at West Central, 13th as head coach. We've played Culver every year since then, so we get along with Culver pretty well, especially.
You've been at West Central that long, 16 years?
It's been a long time.
Holy cow.
This is 13th as a head coach.
I know. I'm getting old.
I feel like that too sometimes, but especially when I start talking about stories, and then the kids look at me like, that wasn't us. I was like, oh, I guess it wasn't.
Yeah.
There's somebody else that wore that number. And but yeah, we've played Culver for a long time, and Zahner was there for a long time.
You played college football with him.
We played college football together, so we've always had a really good relationship with Culver guys. So
they're at Manchester.
Yep, at Manchester. We played college, and we were lifting partners. I think probably the last 3 years there, we were lifting partners with each other. So a lot of time spent with that guy. So
well, and when we were in Culver 2 years ago, when you beat the Cavs. Sorry to Coach Foust, but when you beat the Cavs, it'd been the first time that you'd won in Culver in a long time.
Yeah, since probably before Mike took over. There was 1 year that I thought we were going to get them because they had some giants that coming through there during Zahner's time. But the 1 year we scored 46 points. I was like, that should be plenty enough to win. But we gave up 51. And that's not good.
That's one that sticks out. It's always the losses that stick out, aren't
right?
And like the following winter, I was at some clinic and there was a guy talking about if you do this in a game, like the percentage for winning, like it goes up. But it was like offensive touchdowns, obviously. And then he said if you have a defensive touchdown, like your percentage goes up to a certain point. And then if you get a special teams touchdown as well, like it's like 98%. And I was like, I'm that 2% because we did that in that game where we had offensive, defensive touchdown, special teams touchdown, and we still lost. So I was like, I'm that 2%.
Well, in the last few years, when I've been here, you've run the flex bone quite well, and that's something that the Cavs are probably going to see on that Friday night in week 2. I can't speak for you, but Coach Foust, when you go up against a West Central team, they're athletic guys. They've got Connor Huber at the quarterback position. We'll learn about the Trojans here shortly with Marc Hall. But you talk about West Central and what you've seen the last few years. What do you usually have to prepare for? I know your mind's on week 1 right now, but just to set the table for our week 2 matchup, what do you think in the top of your head that comes to mind against the Trojans?
Yeah, no, obviously, the first thing we kind of always talk to our kids when we play West Central is they're just going to play fast and hard. Last year coming off the ball and things like that. And, last year we told our kids, if you don't block Villarreal and Huber, they're going to make every tackle. And up front, their D-line did a great job of causing havoc. And, we've joked around where, we may have to send 10 guys to Villarreal and Huber because, they will make every play if you let them. And, their kids just play hard, get off the ball fast. And, and that I think Coach, we talked about earlier, but, they got on teams fast last year, and that was one of the things that you just didn't want to happen to you because, it's tough to play catch up because they do a great job of running their system and having athletes and putting athletes in space. And, when you did the counter, week 2 counter killed us last year, right? You go back to what and just absolutely killed us. And, when you have number 7, Felipe, I think was the last year. And that kid was fast, and you get him the ball on a counter and things like that. It was going to be problematic for us.
They're bringing out the 30-inch pizza right now. Russ Radtke's eyes like, oh, my gosh, is that enough meat for you, Coach? Is that enough meat for you?
So let me ask you this, Coach. Playing against Marc Hall coach football team in West Central, and they run the no huddle. Now, it's not a hurry-up no huddle, but they're not going to huddle. They're going to line up to get up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to read the defense. They're going to call play. What's your biggest coaching point to your defense going into that game, knowing that that's what they do?
Yeah, I think our biggest coaching point, obviously with Coach Hall sitting here is we're going to line up exactly what we're going to show you what we're going to do. So what you see and you're calling your play like, do it. That's exactly what we're going to run. What you see, right, hopefully. But, no, the biggest thing with option, obviously, right, is just doing responsibilities. And
right.
Last year what killed us, again, you talk about coaches. You remember your losses more important. We had a free safety. That was his second game of ever playing high school football, and you're trying to get him to read the keys. The week before, he had Attica or threw the ball every play. Really easy to find the ball when the ball's in the air. Right. Versus when guy goes in motion. This is your read guy. He's going to come back to you on counter, and we're chasing all the way over there and things like that. So, just trying to do what we need to do, right? Read our keys and things like that. And, try to put our kids in a good situation and things. But, the biggest thing for Coach Hall is, trust your eyes, right?
Right.
What you see,
trust your keys.
That's what you think we're going to do. That's what we're going to do it. But, no, since we got some time, since it's only 3 of us here, I want to talk about this. So
little dig.
Here we go.
Little dig here, Coach Lambert.
We only I text your brother too. I said, Danny, we got a 30-inch pizza. You better get over here, right? So as well, but no,
you won't have to tell him twice.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm still waiting to text. It must be practice. I don't know if he texted me back. So. But no, our schedule, right? I think our schedule is one of the toughest, in the state. Obviously Central Noble, not exactly sure, but what Coach Hall and West Central has done week 2, and then the HNAC and being I think it's the best small school conference in the state. But then our sectional, right? We just keep getting added the same teams that we play
in the week 9.
in the week, right? Now West Central joined. They're in ours now, and that's it. I always look forward to week 1 because at least we play teams that are different. You don't know about Attica, you don't know about Central Noble, and then you get to your sectional and you're like, all right, well, it'd be nice to play this team, somebody you haven't seen. And, now it's just kind of like we recycle, right, our whole kind of schedule for our section.
Well, the nice thing about, the familiarity in the sectional is when it comes to game planning, you kind of know by that time what's going to happen, and you don't think you have to reinvent the wheel.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And it is, like I said, the familiarity part.
Right.
I mean, there is some of that where it's like, okay, now we don't try to, who do we gotta, on the huddle black market and try to get tape from and things like that, or who
Right.
can we swap this for that kind of thing. But
Right.
but it's always exciting to just play new teams and things like that too as well. And but yeah, our sectional just keeps kind of just loading up with
Right.
the HNAC sectional, and then now, like I said, Coach Hall's over in our sectional
Midwest
now, too, as
Conference,
well.
going to
Yep.
join it.
So.
Well, week 3 is when you'll start the Hoosier North Athletic Conference run. Triton week 3, Winamac 4, North Judson week 5, Caston 6, Pioneer 7, North Miami 8, and then you finish off against the rival South Central. It's always been a good matchup the last several years. But, Coach, I sure do appreciate you coming in. I know the pizza just got here, so grab yourself some pizza. We'll switch on over to Marc Hall, if that's okay. We'll talk with Coach Hall, the West Central Trojans. Enjoy the pizza, Coach. You got last questions for Marc Hall. Anything you want to say?
No, yeah, we've been chatting.
What about
Right.
you can talk about North Judson? They're not here yet, so you got anything if you want to say about North Judson?
No, that's we're Central Noble. We're worried about that. Trying to get that.
Don't want to
trying
poke
get
the
that
bear
done,
too much.
Right? I got another radio show tomorrow to get more pizza, but yeah, I realize I'm gonna have to eat a lot more pizza now that it's just us three.
Well, hey, I'm eating and he's eating and Lenny's
all right,
eating.
all right. I didn't know we were doing a Hogzilla, so
We're eating the whole.
I didn't
meat,
eat lunch,
baby.
so I did.
There you go.
I
You
did
saved
start
some
up,
room.
yeah.
Good. Well, that is head coach of the Culver Cavaliers. It's Austin Foust. Here in a season preview show, we'll transition over to West Central head coach Marc Hall. Coach, I'm excited about this year. We saw some good play from you guys last year, 10-2. I know it didn't end the way you'd wanted it to, but I mean, you've been playing good football, and the program that you've put together the last several years, I think, is something to be proud about it, in my opinion.
We've had, thank you, but we've had really good kids. It starts with them. That senior class that just graduated, they graduated as the number 1 class overall for winning percentage. They finished at 34-11 for their career. Just did an excellent job, and the kids we've had last few years, they've been able to put some things together, and we've had good kids ever since I've been there. It's just we've had some kids that have a lot of talent the last few years, and the things they've been able to do have been really nice and really impressive, and we've been able to put some things together, and we've got some groups coming up that are just as athletic, if not a little bit more athletic, that are in the younger grades. So we're looking forward to what's to come. We've got our junior high right now, the 7th and 8th grade. They've got a lot of kids there that have had a lot of success, and they're coming up, and so we've got a lot of good things going, and hopefully we can keep those things continuing as we move along through the seasons here and keep building on what we have started.
Now, talk about your youth football. You started Pop Warner or whatever it was just a few years ago, right?
Yes, we still have that going.
Have you started to see some impact from that?
Well, the freshman class, they were in 6th grade when it started. So
Okay.
We're in year 4 of it right now. We've got great numbers down there. The people in charge of it for the West Central Youth League have done a great job. Scott Federer has done a great job getting that thing going. And then all the youth coaches, the first few years we did a lot of just meetings in general with them and talked about high school wise, this is what we do. And we would like you guys to do it too. And they were like, yeah, we'll do this. And like we simplified a little bit more for the younger kids. And, each level adds a little bit more to it. And then by the time period they were getting into middle school now, like they're already running.
They know the system.
They're up to speed, and they know this is what we're supposed to do. And our junior high coaches do a great job. Adam Huber's the head coach there and does an excellent job just going over why that has to be this way when we run our offense and our defense, and explaining the why you have to do this. And sometimes that's what the kids need. They see it like, okay, but why is that the case? And he does an excellent job with that. And we've had a lot of success there. They've won our conference the last 3 years at middle school.
Nice.
We've got a lot of good kids, a lot of kids in the middle school right now. Between the 7th and 8th grade, we've got 30 kids alone that are playing football. Right now at the high school, we're at 31. Then our youth league, they divide it between K through 2 plays flag football, and then 3rd and 4th is together playing tackle, and then 5th and 6th grade is together playing tackle. And I think the 3rd and 4th grade is like 23 right now, and I think the 5th and 6th grade is around 20 as well. So we've got a lot of good numbers. hopefully it's one of those things the kids just continue to play and continue to learn and continue to want to get better, and that's what it's going to take. And I was so happy when 4 years ago they said, "Hey, do you want us to start this?" I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
Let's anything you guys need, we'll do. We'll help out."
It's nice to see, when you first started, the struggles, and you just stuck with it. You persevered, and the kids have bought into the program. To continue the success that you've had the last several years, what has to happen this year at West Central for you to continue that success?
One of the things we talk with the seniors is it's now your turn to continue this. And it was those seniors in that 22 class, or that 22 season, that they were just they had talent, and there was just they wanted to stop losing. And that's what it came down to. And they're like, we're not doing this anymore. And they changed what we did. They changed the attitude about how they approach things, and everyone else then bought in down the line. And then they saw the success and like, well, that works. Then let's keep doing that. And now this will be the first group of seniors that wasn't around for that. For that class that came through. So that was kind of the challenge of them this off season, is to, hey, it's your turn. You got to carry this thing on.
But
now
they've been there as a freshman, as a sophomore.
Yeah, and they've
kind of seen it.
They've seen it.
Right.
Again, they weren't there for the first group of it,
Right.
but they've seen the result of that first group. So it's their turn now to continue that legacy and build upon it. And we've got a group that when we sat down after sectionals last year, after the sectional championship, and it wasn't what we wanted to end on, we had a group that the guys coming back said, we don't want this feeling again. We want to build upon this, and we want to get past just getting in sectional championships. We want to win these things finally. In the last 3 years, we've been second in our conference, losing one game each year. Some of them were really close. We lost a 2-pointer at one point. So it's that same thing of that senior group. They're tired of being second.
Right.
They want to get to where we're on top.
So any new faces or names we need to know about at West Central?
Yeah, we have a freshman class that came in. We've got Connor's younger brother, Keaton, is going to be in that group. He's going to be a starter for us up front. And then the sophomore group, there's going to be a few more of them that play. Quite a few of them played last year, got experience. We do in the junior group, we do have a new kid that came for us from Winamac, actually, Jason Jenkins, and he's going to be one of our starting linebackers, and been doing a really good job so far, fitting in with our guys, and been excellent addition there. And then other than that, like we've got pretty much the same guys coming back. Our senior class has 11 in it, so we do have a big senior class. Our junior class isn't very big, and then our sophomore class is big.
Someone that stuck out to me, I saw at practice last week, was she was one of our Tyler Roth WKVI Athletes of the Week last year in the wrestling season. I saw Chloe Oxher out there. And I believe you told me she's going to be an offensive player.
Yeah, she's going to be on the offensive line, defensive line for us. But she came out and said she wanted to play football. So we're like, if you want to try it, go for it. And we're not going to hold you back. So she's been out there working as hard as she can, and hopefully we just continues to work throughout the year and continues to get better.
Well, and I've seen female football players before. Normally I've seen them as kickers, but to have them on the offensive and defensive line, that's pretty impressive. And you're going to have to hold your own.
Her biggest thing right now is it's her first year ever doing it. So it's just about gaining the confidence in what she's doing, and because physically I think she's strong enough she can do it. It's just all about gaining that confidence of how to do it, and I think she'll get there. Continue to learn as the year goes on, and I think she'll be able to help us out there down the stretch.
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty guilty right now because we're all stuffing our faces and eating, and Coach Hall's standing there sitting there holding the microphone, not being able to eat. Coach.
Well, that's why I went to him now. I'm not coach, but
well, coach, whatever.
Yeah, don't try. I do not want to coach. I don't want to do what these guys do. This is too much. You guys put in too many hours and too hard. That's the thing I think a lot of people forget is the hours behind the scenes that coaches are putting into this. I mean, it's just really incredible. You really have to have a passion for what you do, Coach. I mean, you really do, because if you don't, you won't be successful. If you want to be successful, you've got to do the extra work.
Yeah, I think I've talked to you about Friday nights before, and you say, "Can I call now?" I'm like, "I'm up,"
Right.
Because it's
Yeah.
if I get 2 hours of sleep on Friday into Saturday, that's a good night. But after we get back from games, I'm already watching film, doing stats from our game, then watching the next week's opponent and trying to figure things out there. So it's pretty much all night type thing.
So if you had to quantify it, how many hours a week do you spend coaching football?
He goes, oh.
Yeah, I know.
Probably my wife would definitely say too many.
Right.
But it's a lot. It really is basically a second job to teaching. And then having a family on
Right.
top of that, it's
rough. It's tough.
There's definitely weekends where the schedule is very tight on getting to certain events.
Right.
You don't sleep much.
No, not once
during-
once we get going into the season. No, like right now it's about the most we'll have until sometime in November, hopefully.
When I look at the John Harrell website, I don't know if this is accurate, but it looks like the last time you talked about one of your goals is getting over the hump and becoming a sectional champion. Last time I'm seeing that was 2005 under head coach Brad Urban, beating Whiting for a sectional championship 45-21. They fell to Adams Central in overtime in that regional that year. So it's been a while. Since the Trojans have have hoisted a trophy.
It's was a long time for us before we broke through on the conference championship, and it's starting to get up there for sectional as well. But as long as our kids keep wanting to work at it, we're going to go for it.
Well, is there anything? You got one more.
Speaking of sectional, what's your take on being added to the new sectional? Do you like the
Well,
change?
we were in that sectional the last 2 years because we played LaVille the last 2 years, has ended our season. But looking at the sectionals, like some of them don't make sense. The additions and subtractions that they did, with like LaVille moving up, you would have thought just one person to add in, but it ended up being a couple different changes. Like they also took out South Newton, which had been in the sectional the last couple of years, so it didn't make sense why they did that, because they left North Newton in but took South Newton out. And I've always thought it's always been strange that we aren't in a sectional always with North White, because that is the closest school to us. But there's only been 2 years that I've been there that I think that we've been in the same sectional as them. And that was the 22 and 23 seasons, I believe. So how they divide it up, I don't know.
Right.
You'll start with Tri-County week 3, then you'll see Lake Station, a non-conference opponent, then North Newton, then Tri-Central, Faith Christian Frontier, and North White. We've talked about the MWC before. You guys have been very competitive the last several years in the MWC, probably have a target on your back against those opponents.
Yeah, the last 4 years, we've lost 3 games. I think we're something like 19-3 in the last 4 years in the conference. So we've been successful. Frontier has won the last 2 conference championships, so we've been right there with them. The year before that, in 23, we were lost to North White in a very close game, and then 22 we had won it.
That was the rain.
So we've had a lot of success, and we tell the kids every year that every team's going to give us their best shot. They look at us as we started off when we came back to the Midwest. We were down a little bit, and now we believe we're back up to where we should be, and one of the top teams in the conference. And we got to keep fighting to keep up there and stay up there. Our conference this year is a little bit different, with South Newton not being able to field an 11-man team this year. Luckily, we were able to pick up that Tri-Central game. So that one is an away game. It's in the middle of basically a month-long home stretch for us. Then we, in the middle of it, traveled to Tri-Central, and that was a game we were able to pick up, I think, within an hour or two of finding out that South Newton wasn't going to field a team this year. So we were lucky to find that and to be able to get a game.
Week 1, we didn't talk about this. I'm glad I just thought of this. Week 1, the Tomahawk Trophy's on the line, Coach. You're going to take on the Winamac Warriors. You beat them last year 24-8. I think I've asked you this before. Do you like it week 1?
It keeps the kids' attention.
Okay.
Sometimes when you play a team that you may usually play them, but if it's one that you're not a huge rival with, sometimes
lackadaisical.
Can be at times, but when it's your rival,
They're sharp.
There's not time to be lackadaisical. It's you got to be sharp all the time. So it does keep the kids' attention. It's been fun. This will be the third year in a row that we've done it that way, and it's been fun to do. And to some degree, you get it out of the way, and then it's the rest of the season, and then you can go off to conference or whatever and be ready for it.
So you weren't able to have a scrimmage?
No.
right,
We were
so
supposed to what our conference has done the last few years is we've had a conference jamboree. This year they were going to split it into two different locations. Then both locations ended up being underwater, or at least flooded nearby that neither one wanted to host. So as a result, we ended up not being able to scrimmage, which...
Do you have any concerns from not being able to have that scrimmage?
The positive is we didn't get anybody injured.
Right.
The negative is we haven't gone close to live since June.
Right.
When we had our competition days. So that is the one concern of how are we going to handle that first hit?
Right.
That's always the first thing you got to think about, and that's you can get out of the way in the scrimmage of you're going to get hit. So how are people going to react? So it's been a while for that. So that's the big thing is those first few minutes. How are we going to handle it getting hit by somebody who really doesn't like us? It's in practice, yeah, we hit,
but the ones that don't like you,
we're all friends.
But we're teammates.
Yeah. It's when you go across the people that don't like you, then it hits a little bit harder.
It's a little different, I guess.
Yeah.
And you know Eric Davis from your time playing against him before he talked about you. I know you heard what he had to say.
The 2014, I believe, is the first year that he was at Tri-County, and I was at that would have been my first year as head coach at West Central, taking over for Dan Rodriguez. But we played once then, and then we moved to the Hoosier North for 2 years. Then when we moved back to the Midwest, he had left. I don't remember where he went at that time period. But then he came back to Tri-County in the 21 season. So we've only gone against each other twice, but we've known each other the entire time where we have conversations. We'll have every once in a while we will call each other, text each other. At clinics, we see each other and talk, but we've only coached against each other twice.
So it's only been twice, but you have seen the schemes. You kind of know what each other want to do.
And that was one of the things, like in the summer, we were trying to figure out, once he got the job, they were trying to figure out, are they going to continue to run some of the things that Winamac runs, or are they going to switch over completely to what Coach Davis likes to do? And he's always ran option pretty much wherever he's been. So we've been watching that 21 season of Tri-County, that game, and we're showing the kids of, hey, this is, I think, what they're going to be doing. So we got to be ready for this type of formational things. And then we watch last year's game to say, well, these are the kids that are going to be running those things. So we're trying to mesh some things together as far as that is concerned. And I think we've done a good job of trying to get the kids' attention of, formationally, this is what they're going to try to do, and then these are the kids trying to do it to you.
Sure. Well, we sure do appreciate you coming in, Coach. I know you haven't had a chance to eat yet, so we'll give you some time to eat. But, hey, we're looking forward to this coming Friday. We're going to have Justin Ruff on the sideline, hopefully get a word with you at halftime if he's able to. But we'll have him there to give us live reports and in the moment what's going on for the Tomahawk Trophy on the line. You don't want to give that thing up.
We don't have it right now.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand that. You guys don't share it. You share it with other sports.
We share it with basketball.
That's interesting. I don't know about that.
A couple of years ago, the girls started a Tomahawk, and it's shared between volleyball and girls basketball. But yeah, right.
Because the boys basketball team beat West Central, they got it back.
Yes.
So now you got to get it back again. We got to get it back.
Yes. And that's one of the things we've talked about with the kids over the last 4 years. We're 2-2 against Winamac, and this is our opportunity. We can go 3-2 against them. It's also the first time since. To win back-to-back games against them that we can since 03 to 06 where we won 4 in a row. So that's what we're trying to get across to the kids of the importance of not only is it our rival and we want to get this Tomahawk, but what's the added stuff? that is up for grabs on Friday nights.
Boy, is all cause to be ready to go for Trojan Nation and Warrior Nation for that fact. Two rivals meeting up against each other to clash. It's going to be a good one on the road at Winamac this Friday. Kickoff slated for 7 p.m. Eastern. Coach, you better get some pizza.
I'll try to. Thank you.
That's head coach of the West Central Trojans, Marc Call, as we're preparing for our season. It's the season preview show here at Papa Farm Pizza. We're going to talk with head coach of the Knox Redskins, Russ Radtke. He had a chance to eat some pizza. We'll catch up with him. We also see head coach Brett Lambert of the North Judson St. Pierre Blue Jays here as well. So stay tuned. Blue Jay and Redskin Nation, we're going to take care of you next after this. Back live from Papa Farm Pizza, downtown Knox for our season preview show. Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan are back on the air together. Coach, Chris, I can call you Coach still.
You can call
We're
me
calling
Coach.
each
It's
other
fine.
Coach. You know, I'm excited about every Saturday morning. We get to talk to some premier coaches in our area, and we get an opportunity to talk to head coach Russ Radtke in his 50th season. Don't you think that's pretty cool?
Yeah.
You turn 50 here soon.
I turned 50 on Thursday. So, yeah, looking at me, Coach. This is your football career right here, your coaching career, staring right back at you.
You might look a little
years.
better than that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure his football coaching career looks a lot better than what I look. But, you stop to think about our Saturday show and what you said and the history of it and how long it's been going. It would be interesting to sit down and just list all the names of the coaches that have gone on, that have come through the doors and have gone on through the doors and the success that they've had. And I'm talking football, basketball, any sport.
It would be interesting.
It would be interesting to see some of the names,
Some of the names, man. And you knew a lot of them probably early on, Coach. I mean, you talked to a lot of coaches on that Saturday Sports Line early on in the infancy of the program with Harold Welter and all the guys. And it's just the history that's gone on in this area. It's a special area. You've kind of talked about it before. And Redskin Nation and heck, we even throw North Judson in there. This area loves its football, and they support their teams from what I've seen the last 5 years I've been here.
Well, the big thing is, and it's consecutive.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't a gap in between, or I'm sure there was hard times finding advertisements or how we're going to get everybody excited about this. And just to keep it going, the initial year was what, 79?
69.
69. I think I was playing them.
Yeah, you remember Harold said one of his first few games was one of your games.
That's right. And then,
that you played.
And the Knox Judson game was in 5 inches of mud and rain and the whole shot. So that's an element that nowhere else in the state, right? Nobody's got this record.
I would say, yeah, it's the longest running high school sports show in Indiana. We went back and looked at the records with Harold. It's pretty impressive.
And our Indiana Football Coaches Association has had an all-star game that's the longest running in the United States of America.
Wow.
So that's been running since the middle 60s somewhere. So all this put together means that this is an important part of people's lives is football in the fall.
Yeah.
School gets started, things are rolling. We got volleyball and we got tennis and cross country, and all these are just great. That's fine. But there's something like getting the band out and having the camaraderie of the teams that are playing against each other and showing that excitement that and of course, you got to live up to Harold Welter. You reached that?
I know. No, I never will.
Oh, okay.
If I did this for 50 years, I'd be older than him. I'd be older than he is now if I had to do this for 50 more years.
And he was always able to come up with a question. Even those years before when even like Tim Roth and I are yelling at each other and arguing, and he calms us both down because he was at Winamac and getting it going the right direction. Harold was able to the show never had 2 minutes at the end with what are we going to do. We were still going at it, and people were still conversations and information that was being given.
Well, that's where you guys. It was at a house here just down the street, right?
Right there on the corner.
And you guys would all be
a gas station,
right? You guys would all be sitting together at the same time.
At the same time, and
you want to go back to that format?
I have no problem with it. Getting everybody in there at one time. The coffee and the donuts, and we bring our assistant coaches with us sometimes too.
Right.
Hank Workus was in there, and Kevin Brown, David Vesley with my crew, and by the time I think it lasted an hour, but it could have went on for 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you guys would all be sitting around, and I can remember Harold telling me stories of you and Tim Roth getting into it.
Yeah. One of the biggest things Tim Roth always was upset about was the fact that, you know how you take a D at the end of the game
Yes.
and you're winning? For some reason, our statistician would put us as a +1. And Tim's screaming, that's a -1. So that's some of the points that, and he would just point bluntly, we were awful lucky. There's some victories that we got. We snuck in the playoffs, I think 8 out of the 10 years I was there. And it always seemed like the Winamac Judson game was the deciding factor as who made it.
Wow.
So
especially in that cluster system.
Yeah, then
which
the cluster,
was a cluster
and the buster and everything else.
Which was a cluster.
Yeah. The the IHSA had to come up with a lot of different ideas, but the Indiana Football Coach Association came up with the idea we're going to get everybody in.
Right.
That's everyone. Everybody's got to get in. And I think there's only 2 other states that have that are able to say that everybody gets into the tournament somewhere, regardless if you've won every game or lost every game. And that's the only fair way to do it, that's for sure. We definitely have made another thing, too, about the coverage and so forth. Being able to have you on the sidelines is something different. I think it's a little exciting to the fans.
Right.
If you just not stay on the Judson side the entire game, it'd be nice, okay? But we look forward to the opportunity to showcase this very first ball game. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Last year we were the backup.
We're live. When I moved here, I'll piggyback on that. I didn't mean to interrupt, but you say if you didn't stay on the Judson, well, that is he's still scared of you, Coach. Oh. He's a 50-year-old guy. He's still scared of you, Coach.
Well, I might have asked him an opinion.
You've never been down on the sideline during a Knox football game.
So this was year 2. He comes up at halftime. He goes, I'm not talking to him. He's not happy. I said, give me the mic, and I went down there and I interviewed you at half. He goes, he's not going to talk to you. You walked right up to me. I said, if you just ask, he'll do it. That's what I realized. I was like, he's got grown men still scared of him.
Well, I coached against him. I know what he's like.
I know that you need to get more and more, because a lot of those fans have the headsets on.
Right.
They're listening.
They're listening to the game. And then you got people that are in other states that are live lining it or
live streaming it.
Live screening it and so forth. So it's only fair that we try to make sure that everything's available and encompass the crowd the opportunity to have fun.
Well, and it does help us get the coverage out there, so we appreciate it. Because not every coach wants, like you've noticed, not every coach wants. Sometimes they're just getting shellacked, and there's nothing really good to say. So but we do appreciate that aspect of it. But let's talk about the big question. Yeah. This is I think, and if you don't mind me asking, I think everyone in the area wants to know how do you replace what you lost last year?
With 55 players out this year. I mean,
which is huge.
It's a huge number. We're nearly totally platoon, and we'll be a lot better at the end of the season than we are at the beginning.
That's strong.
So we'll get things accomplished, and we try to coach these young men that are below us. Our JV was undefeated. Our 9th grade had lost 1, still won the conference also. So we bring all that together as one group. 55 guys all deserve to play, and they did in our beginning scrimmage against Wawasee.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids realized that, hey, I can meet that out there on the field. We do have some guys that have now come out that didn't come out before, that are going to be some exciting players for us. Both defensively and offensively. And we look forward to our specialty teams with playing a lot of young kids and being aggressive in that aspect. Because, we played all through the month of July, had our scrimmages and so forth like that. The strange thing about that, I should say, you could go scrimmage 11-on-11 at another school for an hour. You don't need refs. Why do we need them during?
Why do we need him during?
But anyway,
Careful what you wish for.
Okay. And then
Call your own foul, right?
and then we start our first day of practice, and all we can do is wear helmets for an hour, isn't it, guys?
Right.
Yeah. 1 hour.
Coach Fowl says, "Preach."
All summer with no physicals and helmet shoulder pads.
And nailing each other.
Yes.
And don't need refs. All of a sudden, first day of practice, we show up, we have to wear just a helmet. Then the next 2 days, we wear a helmet and shoulder pads. So there's 3 of the 10 getting ready for the.
But you can't go with your 2 days, 3 days, everything you're doing over there. You can't have. You can't have the 5-6 hour practice. No, but
either. You know?
Well, you can't do the.
You used to.
Well, you got
shoulder pads.
You could only have an hour and a half the first one day, and the next day could be a 2.5 hour. And if you decide to do a two practices one day, the second one's got to be only in helmets, in air conditioning, and so they put all kinds of kind of like what they did in basketball.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
They haven't done a darn thing in basketball.
It's coming.
They haven't set any qualifications.
Now they did.
They can play 8 minutes straight for 30 days in June, all day long.
I see what you're saying in preparation.
And so, I don't know what the criteria is of how we come up with these ideas, but hopefully in the 50 years I've been around, it isn't because of what we did that we're limited now,
Well, they started the running clock in basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That's to help guys like him.
Get out of here quicker. We're trying to get out of here, aren't we?
Definitely, the fouls go down a little lower.
I noticed that when I watched you last year.
When we get within the 35, but overall,
and I thought this when you get an opportunity as a young guy, when we saw the upperclassmen graduate, I remember being on a team. We were excited about that in a sense. This is our time now to prove. This is our time to step up and shine. Have you seen that kind of mentality from these younger guys?
Oh yeah, but especially since they've been so quiet and they want. I really got to give it to the coaches throughout the state of Indiana that voted Miles McLaughlin to the Mr. Football position.
Yeah.
And that's hard to think of doing when there's 5A, 6A, and 4A, and everybody in Indianapolis and everything, for them to respect the fact that this young man, could he have done it in 4A, 5A, and 6A? I don't know. But he did do it where we were at, and he presented us with a great atmosphere that is exciting. So Mr. Football is selected by the Coaches Association.
Right.
Newspaper guys, those people aren't involved anymore. And all the assistant coaches actually vote too. So you got everybody within a staff. Like Valpo might have 30
right.
Assistant coaches in the whole shot, but it's still something that's very exciting for our area. And I think he got close to 68 to 70% of the total.
That's
votes.
Huge.
Yeah, that's huge, and it's a good part for leadership too, because that's the kind of guy he was.
Yeah. And I don't want to spend too much time on him, but he did message me, and he said he's listening. He said it's a weird feeling not playing for Russ now, and he's down at Murray State. And I think that's so cool that he's still tuning in and listening because he cares that much about Knox football, even at the next level. We know he's going to do well.
Well, he has that attitude within the inside. A lot of those other people might be a little bigger, might have a little bit more experience, but when it comes down, they need a yard or two. I'm sure they're going to find a way to get the ball to the young man.
Yep. And
he set a lot of standards for everybody around. Like I said, we got 55 players out. We have our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade went to Lucas Stadium last weekend and played against 4As and 5As football. They scored 38 touchdowns. So offensively, they're working quite well, and they played Lafayette Jeff, Chesterton, Frankfurt, and then Lafayette Jeff again. So altogether, having that type of group that have come along, we had 99 kids at our little kids camp. So it's a great atmosphere right now.
All right, Coach. So who are some of the new names and faces for the Redskins this year? I'm going to put you on the spot.
There's no way I know all their names, okay? I'm sorry.
That's why I asked.
I just know that Ashton Walker will step up and be one of our major running backs and so forth in the backfield. We got 2 returning linemen that are very good, Nigel Thompson and Gage Craig, which are started last year a lot, played a lot. Hunter Anderson played for us last year along with Cole. And then you bring in the players that are going to help. There's a boy named Bryson Venice. Venice?
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell it.
Well, I cover all the other sports. There, his older brother played baseball, and then he's a basketball player, pretty good basketball player too.
Is he?
Yeah. Good footwork, good shooter.
He's a good receiver.
I was going to say,
good hands.
Point him at receiver.
A good receiver and a defensive back. But it's good to have a young kid like that has come in. He probably looked at it the last couple of years. Nobody's throwing the ball to me, so I ain't going out,
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's out, and we're getting a lot of other people out in that aspect. So those guys will do a very good job for us on offense. Brandon Dixon will be one of our defensive linemen, along with there's a kid by the name, I think I can pronounce it right, Riley Radtke.
Radtke. I think you know Rad. I think you're probably related to him somewhere down the line.
I don't know what you call him. He's my cousin's. No. Grandson?
Your cousin's grandson. What would that be?
I don't know. Let's get back to football.
Just
I
a
have
cousin.
No idea.
It'd be a cousin.
That kissing cousin like Elvis Presley and all that. I don't know.
That's for you to figure out, Coach.
Yeah. We'll leave that up to you.
All I know is a great opportunity. Every time he does something wrong, I said, "You want me to call Grandpa?"
He probably didn't. No, please.
Don't call Grandpa. No matter what you do. Doug Radtke is his grandpa. You put those. We have a Mason McLaughlin.
Okay. I remember he was injured last year.
He got injured in that other sport, basketball, and he's coming along, done a very good job, gotten better in all aspects of defense, and we will play him on the defensive side. And the big thing is we're only going to have about 2 seniors on defense.
Wow.
That was a senior-laden team last year.
Yes,
Right.
it was.
And they played hard.
Yeah.
But we'll have some young guys and try to platoon as much as possible, keep them fresh, try to stay 3 or 4 deep at every position, and keep rotating them in, and hopefully that'll make us stronger. Like I said, by the end of this season, we're going to be really good.
Right.
There's no doubt about it.
The one name you
Where
have.
we are right now, there's a fumbling. I don't know what that story is, okay? But there's some things happening that could not be as much fun as before.
The one name you haven't mentioned, and he's been getting a little bit of press here in the preseason, Heisman McCann, offensive lineman.
Big boy.
Big 77.
Well, he's a sophomore.
Right.
He's over 300 pounds. Deadlifts well over 700. He's a man. There's no doubt about it. His dad's my head 8th grade coach, junior high. But he definitely is coming along. He listens. That's the biggest thing I can see. He always listens and incorporates what we try to tell. I try to tell him. He's kind of like the white neck that I had at Dew Prairie that went on to Illinois.
Right.
And now he's at Western Michigan. So, he definitely is somebody that we're looking forward to for 3 years. There's no doubt about it.
Sweet.
It's your first cousin twice removed. That's how we just found that out thanks to Lenny Dessauer.
Well, he does another thing wrong. He might be 3rd removed. We'll put the pressure on him in that direction, okay? But overall, Victor Buchamp is one of our defensive backs that's back that will be able to do a good job for us. And there's other names too, Mason Hamlin, and individuals that we've had a couple move-ins too. Let's see what we got here.
You recruiting now, Coach?
It's legal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't do anything that's illegal. Donovan Whitus, Witas.
Witas.
Yep. Yeah, Donovan.
He was at Lacrosse.
Tri-Township, Lacrosse. Yep.
Yeah, I just call him Tri.
And
Tri-Township.
He's a man back. He's a man back there.
Yeah.
He's a junior, learning the football and how it works. I think he had been here earlier when he's young, but he's been gone for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So
Interesting.
He'll be a player for us that can come on and do some good things for us, but he's still got to learn to get the game of football and how to get it going. Our freshman quarterback for the last year was Maddox Olenjanasic.
Olin Isaac.
I don't have you guys going to practice.
Olin Isaac. That's my job. Trust me, they text me. They let me know.
For me, okay. Yeah, he's a number, and he's very quiet, but he plays the game of football. We were playing KV, I believe, or during the summer. Gary Westside, I can't remember. He popped one for 80 yards.
Wow.
I mean, he's got that speed and quickness. And he was our quarterback last year that went undefeated as a freshman with the JV. So, I can't possibly, and a name I might have forgot or whatever, I'm not sure. But answering your question,
right.
It's going to take a lot of people in a lot of situations. And a lot of people knew that when it came down to a 3rd and 2, who was going to last year. And this year it may be a little bit different on how that aspect takes place.
You were sectional champion. The last 4 years, you've been sectional champions. You've been to the semi-state twice in the last 4 years. You said in our practice report last week, right now, they've got you ranked, 9th, you said? But you believe if this team does what it should do in preparation and working along through the season, you believe they could get maybe 8th, 7th, if not better.
Well, the major factor is our schedule. Our schedule is everybody's out for us. I'm sure it's marked on their calendar. They want a shot at us, and that's what makes you better. Your competition. Only the reason you can find a way to get better, and even us at the end playing Gary Westside with the speed and so forth that they have, we're going to, like I'm saying, we will become better. We're playing the CMA, Culver Military Academy, and we're in a new sectional now too. Andrean took our spot. I'm sure there's a lot of sectional that we left is happy about that.
Right.
But Andrean's taking our spot, and we're taking Andrean's spot in
the 2A.
In 2A. And we think we could have been pretty good in the last couple of years if we didn't have to play Indianapolis University Chittard or
Fort Wayne Bishop.
Fort Wayne Bishop Lures from Africa. Because they had some players that were there on that team that didn't even have a city.
Right.
Just said, where is he from? Africa.
That's all it said.
Yeah, and he's at West Virginia right now.
Right.
So D1.
West Virginia on a full ride.
D1.
So that's the difference, and we'll be glad to take this opportunity to take the challenge as we go along.
And it all starts against North Judson this coming Friday night. You've got head coach Brett Lambert here. Is there anything you want to ask him? See if he'll give you anything in particular that you're going to see from the Jays, or you kind of probably know what he's probably going to bring, maybe.
Well, we're just hoping that he didn't break the rules on Monday when he didn't have school and he didn't practice 9 hours. Okay.
What is your intel? What's your intel telling you?
I don't.
Well, Coach, do you want to answer that? Did you?
Only 8 hours.
Only 8 hours.
You can do as much as you want on the books and paperwork and knowledge and watching films and all that stuff. Okay, but we played in a scrimmage. They didn't get to play in a scrimmage. The team that they were going to play, Wheeler, the field was not ready, or they didn't have the electricity or whatever, and so they lost that opportunity. Whereas we played in one, and that's very important. That's very important. And this new sectional we're in, I just don't like either, because there could be a bye, and I sure don't want that one.
You don't want the bye.
Don't want that bye.
You want to keep playing.
And not only that, once you get the bye, aren't I right, guys? You're on a road all the way through. You don't get any more. You don't get in a home game.
Even in the regional round?
Well, when you get out of the sectional.
Okay.
But at a sectional start, you get that bye, you think, oh, okay, fine, great. Next 2 games you get, you're on a road no matter what.
So just be better to start off.
Yeah, so that's something that's different. And we will it'll be a great atmosphere. I'm sure from providing the opportunity for both teams to show exactly what's going on, that's probably the phone because I got a hole in the roof and the adjusters there.
You need to take it. We'll transition to North Judson. He's gonna.
Fair enough. I'll get this message.
Okay. That's head coach of the Knox Redskins, Russ Radtke. He's a busy guy. He's always doing something. But we're transitioning to North Judson, Sanpere, with head coach Brett Lambert. We're glad you made it, Coach. Thanks for taking the time tonight. I know you're busy right this time of year, getting ready for another season. You said it plain as day. You guys were not happy with the way things ended last season, and you want to turn things around. You know, we know what happened the year before. We know the expectations that you and the Jays have. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this season and what you want to see from these guys taking the next step.
Well, the first thing, I was going to have Russ pass me the phone because I need to talk to an adjuster because I got a hole in my roof too. So,
well, you get him back on the line. It's Julio. It's Coach Julio. You say you want to talk to Coach Lambert?
But no, last year, obviously, it didn't end the way we wanted to. When you have 6 turnovers in your final game and then lose on a field goal with no time left in the clock, and that's kind of a bitter feeling and bitter taste in your mouth. But no, we learned a lot from last year. Just the fact that we still went 8-3, but we have a lot of when you talk to people in the offseason, like, God, that was a disappointing year, 8-3. Switch it up. Okay, here we go. Does this sound better?
Yeah, sorry, Coach.
Okay, no, that's all right.
There we go.
But no, so just we were disappointed 8-3, and other people were. But when you look back at the schedule, we lost to Knox, who was a semi-state team. We lost to Pioneer, who was state runner-up, and we lost to a good LaVille program. So you can't really hang your head down on that. But heading into this year, yeah, we got a lot of guys of experience, and we're ready to get this started.
I was going to say, I think skill position-wise, you might be the deepest you've been since you've been at North Judson.
No doubt about it. We, I'm not saying we got, and we could, but we had top-end talent. With Brock Benson and
Right.
Cy McDaniel, Cole Wilcox a few years back. But we got some guys that have that type of ability. But like you just said, I feel like if you take our top 8 skill guys, or even maybe beyond that, I mean, we got some guys who are all varsity caliber players, and I think dangerous in their own way. And then our line, we did lose some guys from last year, but a lot of these guys back on the line have experience, and they, did what they had to do in the offseason. So I feel like, they might be a little behind, but I feel like as we move through the year, they're going to be in good shape. So, yeah, this is a great group of skill guys we got.
How about defensively? What are you looking at there?
I really like the defense. I feel like speed-wise, we got something going there. This is probably the fastest team, defensively that we've had, probably hands down since, I've been the head coach. Size-wise, we might not have some of those guys like Kozikar and Sanchez, but again, the speed factor's, pretty legit. We still got some strength to go behind it. So I think we might look a little bit different defensively just because of, the guys we have to offer out there, but I don't think that's a bad thing, to be honest with you.
All right, who are some of the new names and faces we need to look for?
Well, let's go through some old names first, and then we'll go through
all right,
it all.
That's fine. Hey,
some guys we got coming. Yeah, we got some guys coming back. So, like in the backfield, we'll just talk offense. Evan McGowan's back at fullback. Then Aiden McGowan and Logan Pracky are both back at 2 of the slots. Of course, our slots, some people call them wings. To me, it just depends on where you're lined up at. So we got them back. Brandon Metzger's a kid who didn't. He was more of a JV guy last year, got a few reps in the varsity. But he is, I think, 5'7", 160, but he bench presses 335 and has a 500 and something squat. So, I mean, this kid is jacked. He's pretty impressive. So he's going to help us out in the backfield, plus on defense. Javen Christensen, he started at the end of last year at quarterback. And he's, really taken off with that position over the course of the year. And again, he moves, really well. He's a point guard on the basketball team, so he's used to having some pressure on him. So I'm, excited to see what he can do. And so then we moved Asen Harper, who started at quarterback at the beginning of last year. Asen's now playing tight end with Xander Nowak. And Xander was already, he's a great returner for us. He was an all-state guy last year. But now with Asen playing some tight end, Asen's 6 foot, 220, probably might be the strongest guy on the team. Very impressive, build to him. So I kind of like what we can do there if we want to go 2 tight end but then we also got Alex Cager at receiver who, he's probably the fastest guy in our conference, or he is the fastest guy in the conference.
Right.
Went to state in the hurdles. I feel like he can give us some stuff at receiver. We got some guys there. Then to go with the offensive line, we got Adam Allen. This is pretty much all, let me see here, 4 juniors and a sophomore on the O-line. So we got Adam Allen at center, Levi Radtke and Riker Scheidler at the guards. Goes for Riker's a returner. Adam played some O-line for us last year too. Then A.J. Radtke is a sophomore. He was a JV guy last year, but he's AJ's really developed, and
He's big.
yeah, and he's always liked football, but I think he liked basketball more.
He's a good basketball player.
Yeah, he's whatever he is, 6'4",
Right.
but he's 6'4", about 260. He does have a nice shot in basketball, but I think he's starting to figure out that 6'4", 260 might get him a little bit further
In football.
especially when he's a sophomore in football. Good feet.
Coming out of Judson.
So I think we're starting to get him converted a little bit more to being maybe I'm not going to say football first because he loves basketball, but he might be getting equal now. So I'm excited to see him there. Then we got Legis. He's our tackle. He's a returner for us. Let me see if I'm forgetting anybody else. David Johnson's going to play some O-line for us as well. So again, that's a good group there of guys on the offense.
Well, I'm just thinking Nowak and Cager, having them split opposite sides of the field. That's that's pretty formidable.
Yeah, but we have options, but we do like to run the ball. So it's also kind of nice when you got a tight end in there and even 2. That's kind of nice to.
Well, that too. I get that.
I think all I hear about in the offseason, we're throwing the ball all the time. I don't people think we're going.
Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, now that Coach Radtke's here, let's talk about the 5-wide offense.
Well, and he said they were going to throw it a little bit there.
So that's what I've been
What do you Stark County turning into the air assault?
Air raid.
It's the air raid, and that's here in Stark County.
Yeah, Nathan
Texas
Walker's going to be
Tech,
back out there. Right?
Coach Leach.
Stark County air raid.
We've always worked on throwing the ball in practice, but if you go by percentages,
I'll agree with you. I did see you guys do that quite a bit.
But we do a lot more with running the ball. That's for darn sure. So I feel like
You want to know you can do it.
yeah, and I guess if we have to, we'll find out if we can do it. But I know I better not say I know. I think we can run the ball. I think we can run the ball well.
I'm thinking twin set, with Cager and Nowak on the same side, and a backside tight end with Harper. Yeah,
It's going to be varsity blues. The first play against Knox, the guy's going to be standing there counting all the receivers that are out there. Count out.
Traditionally, though, if you really think about it, our slots have usually been our biggest receivers.
right.
So Aiden McGowan,
Right.
Pradke. So yeah, I'm hoping that Russ is preparing for all these guys going
Right.
out for routes, and I hope he's just preparing for the passing game. I
There
think
you go.
that'd be great.
Well, let's talk about it. Week 1, we talked about it with Coach Hall. He likes it. He likes having that rivalry game against Winamac week 1 because the attention is sharper. He said that the kids are paying better attention in the summer getting ready for that week 1 game against Winamac because there's a little more on the line against your rival. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, I love it. Again, we had Culver before, and that was, to me, that was a fun game to have week 1. And it's not like you didn't prepare for it, but it's just the community. The Knox game just means more. Because that game's just going to it's going to be packed. That game's going to be completely packed. So it's almost like there's not an atmosphere that will beat it the rest of the year. That first game is the best thing. So your kids are used to that. So I hate to say it's almost a downer the rest of the year, but just as far as a crowd, that's it. But no, I like, having Knox on the schedule and in our weight room when we have our countdown clock and it, starts off whatever it is, 200 something days, after, the season ends, like we lost LaVille last year. We had the countdown clock ready for Knox, which felt a little lame. I can't lie, because Knox was still playing. So that felt pretty lame last year. It was the first year we had to really do that. And that did not feel good. But anyways, back on track.
Week 2 exit.
Yeah, that didn't feel good. But no, just, having that build up for it, and, Russ being a North Judson guy, graduated from there, and just, being a coach there for 10 years and having success, that adds something to it. So yeah, it's to me, it's just a fun first game and atmosphere. And then plus though, you can just mark it off the list.
It's over.
They're not in your sectional. You're not going to see them again. So you get to just, I guess, of course, you can't say that.
Yeah,
I'm looking at Marc right now.
He has that.
Yeah, so that's different for him now. So that is a little bit different. But for us, we can mark it off the list. Okay, obviously we're trying to beat Knox, no doubt about it. They're trying to beat us, but it's just done.
Yeah.
It's done. While the other games in the schedule, a lot of those teams we could see again.
So let's talk about, the early exit last year. Something you're not familiar with the success you've had at North Judson. But in a way, though,
you can use it,
a little bit of a break, and you can use it as motivation coming into this season. But that extra time of being able just to sit back and go, okay, reassess everything that inside the program. Is that how you
Thanksgiving?
Is that how you use the time?
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. And I was, and I'll be honest, when I left the radio show after LaVille, so that radio show with Mitch and you, made a couple phone calls, called a couple coaches, and just threw some ideas around. And the first coach I called was talked to Matt Wright. He's an assistant coach. He's been there since I started.
Great guy.
So I talked to Matt for a little while there, and I kind of bounced some ideas. He did the same. Then the next month after that, and he didn't even know I was going to do this, I said, hey, I want you to call the offense, which I'd kind of wanted to do for years. I just kind of wanted to be involved in everything, but not be the sole person in charge, because Danny does the defense. He calls it. I had always called the offense. But to me, that was an opportunity because I knew he was capable. But you don't really make changes like that when you've been to semi-state, which I'm not trying to brag, but we'd been to semi-state a few years in a row. So it's like you just kind of keep doing – it's business as usual when you have that. But when you lose, now it's time to reevaluate. And I really like where Matt's gone with it. And maybe he's the one starting the rumors about passing. I don't know.
So you got a leak, Coach. You got a leak.
But I really like what he's done, and I can kind of take a step back from that and be more involved in other things and maybe the culture. And it's not that we had a bad culture last year, but I didn't like where a couple things were headed. So I kind of nipped that in the bud. And so you are right. Do I want to lose? Do I want the time off? No. My wife expects me not to be there until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She expects that. But
you got one.
But we took advantage of it.
Yeah,
we did take advantage of it, and I think we made some good decisions for the program, and hopefully that carries over into this year.
Coach, what's one thing you're most looking forward to this season as a whole for these guys?
Oh, gosh.
I mean, we talked about the goals, but, I mean, there's got to be some things you're seeing in practice like, man, I can't wait to see this on Friday night. This is going to be fun.
Well, first of all, I've just seen my team on Friday night. Like Coach Radtke alluded to, we didn't have a scrimmage.
That's got to be tough.
I think so, but I'm not sure. And let me elaborate. So at first I was like, I can't believe this. We're not having a scrimmage. I didn't even think about it. So let me go back a step. So it was Thursday, last week, Thursday at school. I saw a message come across. I think a lot of the coaches and ADs get in the state, and it said there was a school looking for a scrimmage opponent because of the damage Northwest Indiana.
You're thinking.
So that was the first time it crossed my mind that, oh, crap, is Wheeler going to cancel on us? So I had my AD get a hold of them right away. They were a little wishy-washy about it. So then a couple hours later, they're pretty much like, no, we're going to cancel. But then their head coach called me. He goes, wait, me and the principal were talking. I think we might have this figured out. We're going to have it. So I had my hopes up. And then about 2:30, they finally called it on Thursday. So I immediately called Chris Meek, so I coached football with at Rensselaer long ago, but we're still good friends. So I called him up. I said, hey, can we join your scrimmage of Hanover Central? And his comment was, you don't have a scrimmage? I said, yeah, I don't have a scrimmage. Can I join? He goes, God, you're lucky. He goes, I hate scrimmages. He goes, all you do is you do vanilla stuff. He goes, you risk injuries. Then he goes, hey, didn't your best player get injured last year in the scrimmage? I said, well, yeah, thanks for bringing it up. But yeah, you're right.
I didn't think of that.
He goes, if it was up to me, I wouldn't even have a scrimmage. He goes, we do enough in the summer. He goes, did you do enough in the summer? I said, well, yeah. I said, so I was telling him, I wish I could get this out of a scrimmage, yada, yada. He goes, you're going to be fine. He goes, you've done this before, you're fine. So after I got off the phone with him, I'm like, yeah, what do I need a scrimmage for? And I had some other people contact us about getting in a scrimmage, and I actually turned them down. So that Friday, so this past Friday at practice, we turned the music up, we put them through a bunch of scenarios, and we had the best practice we had all year. So
heck yeah.
So I'm not saying that's going to,
for the
lead to great things here on Friday, but I felt like we got out of Friday. I felt like we were, now that Russ is gone, I can say it. I feel like we were further ahead on Knox not going against Wheeler than we would have been if we would have went against Wheeler.
Sure.
Because now it was like, well, we can stop pretending like we care about Wheeler. Now we're all in on Knox.
Is it mandatory to have a scrimmage?
I don't think so.
So could you not have one every year?
I don't know, and I think what's going to happen, and maybe let the other coaches, they want to agree or disagree. I think we're going to have a 10th game. I think that we're going to get rid of the scrimmages eventually. The summertime, right. And I know, and Russ was talking about this. I mean, some of the stupid stuff we do, going from 100 miles per hour in the summer to going to a helmet on day one. It's just so dumb. Once you get to your first official practice in August, you're in helmet. It's just, I don't quite get it. I know probably there's lawsuits involved, and lawyers are probably the ones telling them to do that. But I think it's nuts. And the scrimmage, do we really need it? I don't know. I don't know if we do.
Just go head in week one.
I'm not advocating for a 10th game, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got it. I don't know.
And then what's the whole deal about the moratorium week? What is that?
I think moratorium is a great thing. I do.
It's a week of 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July week's moratorium, but plus there's 5 other days that you have to have moratorium days over the summer. So you can take a full week for moratorium, or you can just put those 5 days in other places. We don't take a second week. We kind of take half a week, but we kind of put our 5 days into other spots in the summer. But no, I think moratorium is a great thing. And if it wasn't for I love Caden Shepard at North Judson, basketball coach, but as a whole, the basketball coaches are the ones that messed this up. Russ was right on that too. I hate to say Russ is right too many times here, but he's exactly right. Because
he's been around the block a time or two.
Let me talk about this for a second. Sorry, basketball coaches, but you take these kids who have been maybe in other sports, maybe not doing a whole lot throughout the spring, and then you say, okay, it's summertime, so now go play 40 basketball games in about 3 weeks. Would you do that during the basketball season? No, they complain about having back-to-back nights. Oh, I got a Friday, Saturday back-to-back. Woe was me. So why in the summer are you playing 40 games in June? It's nuts.
Right.
A football coach, I would never do that. I would never play, more than one game in a week is I think nuts in my own opinion. So, yeah, I just think it's nuts. Basketball coaches are it's like the Wild West with them in the summertime.
It's Indiana.
And then here's the deal, though. So you have these basketball players playing all these games, but they're also on a baseball team, on the football team. So I'm trying just to have a camp or something, and they have no restrictions. And I don't blame the coaches. So, like, again, I like Caden.
It's just the
he doesn't play that many games either, so I think he tries to do it the right way. But some of those games with Chris,
right? Yeah,
Chris knows it's right. I mean,
right.
But I just
play a whole season in June.
Right.
Football, you can have July.
So then,
Coach Foust is still upset about this.
He's shaking his head. I love it.
But here's
that's not Kyle Evans. I call it. That's other places.
But here's I don't know. You can cut me off if you need to.
Oh, no, we're good.
But then they wonder, well, God, why do we have so many people with injuries in June? Why do we have so many these multi-sport kids getting injured? And because not because of what football was doing, not because it's just these kids but they're pulled in so many different directions. So more moratorium weeks, more restrictions on time. I think it's a good thing because some people take advantage of it. And this isn't intended towards my own basketball coach. It really isn't, because we work very well together because we plot out our workouts together so that the kids aren't overworked. But it's just a crazy thing how football has put restrictions on themselves. Our coaches association has done that, and we were told a long time ago that this basketball is going to do the same thing. It's never happened. So if anybody wants to know the background on it, and if anybody wants to worry about, talk about their kid does too much in the summer, well, we have restrictions. We do.
Yeah.
Some people do not.
Oh man, this is gonna be a great season, I think. What do you think? You think this is gonna be a good one, Chris?
I plead the fifth. Everything's exciting. I'm just ready to get started.
I am too. And this
I don't know if that answered your question about Knox or not, but
I forgot about it anyway.
What was the question?
Are you ready for week 1 against Knox?
we're going to find out at 7:00 on Friday. I feel our kids are ready for this game. I really believe that. But like last year, I thought we were ready, even though we went in because we did have a couple injuries that caught us off guard because we didn't know that going in. But we felt like we were ready last year, but I felt like our youth showed up. Knox came after us from the very beginning. They came after us. They were the enforcer, and we just got pushed around. So are our kids going to get pushed around again, or are they going to start doing some pushing back this year? And that's what we're going to find out.
You always have a theme. And one year it was Liberty to Lucas. Then it was, a little more in 24? And then,
I don't know if we stuck with that one or not.
I don't know. What was the one in 25? And then what's this year?
You guys like Batman? So
he has one. I knew he would.
I'm a big Batman fan. So
I love Batman.
It's like Dark Knight Rises and all that stuff. So our theme or motto this year, and I haven't said it a lot yet, but it's Rise. So it's time to rise up from, I guess, the ashes of last season and see what this year brings us.
Theatrical. Coach Lambert.
I should have wore the T-shirt. I should have had that.
Oh, there's a T-shirt.
Oh, I'll show you Friday.
He's gonna bring me one. I'm an XL now, Coach. I'm slimming up.
Ooh, okay.
I'm down to a 2X.
Okay. All right. I'll look what I got. I'll look in the bin. Okay?
Coach, I appreciate you. Well, we're so excited to talk to all you guys on Saturday morning. It's always so much fun, and we appreciate your guys' time and appreciate you guys coming out. It really means a lot to start our season at the season preview show. Lenny, we always appreciate you having it here at Papa Farm Pizza. It means a lot. This coming Friday, we're going live in North Judson, excuse me. My gosh, Coach Lambert's out rolling his eyes. We're going live in North Judson, live at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 7 Central kickoff time. We are so excited, myself along with Chris McGowan, down on the sidelines, continuing the tradition here on WKVI. And then first thing in the morning on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, we will be going live to continue the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to our very own Harold Welter. For all of us here at Papa Farm Pizza, head coach of the West Central Trojans, Marc, head coach of the Culver Cavaliers, Austin Foust, head coach of the North Judson Bear Blue Jays, Brett Lambert, also Russ Radtke of the Knox Redskins. We also spoke with Eric Davis of the Winamac Warriors and Steve Forker of the South Central Satellites. You're listening to KVB's WKVI. We are back. Are you ready?